Heaven is for Real, 2014, Movie Explained. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're explaining the inspiring Christian movie, Heaven is for Real, based on a true story. The story begins in a small town where Colton Burpo works as a pastor. Todd is a loving husband and father who tries his best to support his family and serve his church. Life is not always easy, but his faith helps him through difficult times. Todd and his wife Sonia have a young son named Colton. Colton is a cheerful and curious little boy who loves his family. One day, Colton becomes seriously ill. What first appears to be a common sickness quickly turns into a life-threatening medical emergency. Doctors discover that Colton has a ruptured appendix. His condition becomes critical, and he is rushed into emergency surgery. While doctors fight to save his life, Todd and Sonia pray desperately for their son's survival. Thankfully, the surgery is successful and Colton recovers. Everyone is relieved and grateful. However, after returning home, Colton begins sharing strange stories about what happened while he was unconscious. At first, his parents think he is simply imagining things. But Colton starts describing events that happened during the surgery. He says he saw his father praying in a hospital room and his mother making phone calls from another location. These details surprise his parents because Colton could not have physically seen them. As time passes, Colton reveals even more incredible experiences. He tells his parents that he visited heaven. According to Colton, he met angels and sat on Jesus' lap. He describes heaven as a place filled with light, beauty, peace, and love. Todd is shocked by these claims. As a pastor, he believes in heaven. But hearing such detailed descriptions from his young son is difficult to understand. He wants to believe Colton, but he also worries about whether people will think the family is making everything up. One day, Colton tells his parents that he met a sister in heaven. This surprises them because they never told him that his mother had suffered a miscarriage before he was born. Colton says the little girl hugged him and said she was happy to meet her brother. Todd and Sonia are stunned. There is no way Colton should know about the miscarriage. This moment becomes one of the strongest reasons they begin taking his story seriously. Later, Colton says he met his great-grandfather in heaven. When shown old photographs, Colton identifies a younger picture of his great-grandfather even though he had never seen him at that age before. As Colton continues sharing details, Todd becomes increasingly convinced that something extraordinary happened. However, not everyone around him believes the story. Members of the church have different reactions. Some are inspired and encouraged. Others are skeptical and question whether a child could really have seen heaven. Todd struggles with doubt and pressure. He worries about his reputation and wonders whether sharing Colton's story will help or harm the church community. He spends many nights praying and searching for answers. The movie focuses not only on heaven but also on faith. Todd learns that faith sometimes requires trusting God even when all the answers are not available. He realizes that faith is not about proving everything scientifically. Instead, it is about believing in God's promises. One important moment occurs when Todd discovers a painting of Jesus created by a young girl who claimed to have had a heavenly experience. Colton immediately says that the painting looks like the Jesus he saw in heaven. This deeply impacts Todd and strengthens his belief. As the story progresses, Todd decides to share Colton's experience publicly. Although some people continue to doubt, many find comfort and hope in the story. The message of the movie is not about proving that heaven exists. Rather, it explores how faith can transform people's lives. Colton's experience encourages those around him to think about God's love, eternal life, and the hope found in Christianity. By the end of the film, Todd accepts that he may never fully understand what happened to his son. However, he chooses to trust God and embrace the hope that Colton's story brings. The movie concludes on a positive and emotional note. The Burpo family grows stronger in their faith, and their story touches people around the world. So, did Colton really visit heaven? The movie leaves that question for viewers to decide. Regardless of what you believe, The story reminds us about faith, hope, family, and the possibility of something greater beyond this life. And that's the story of Heaven is for Real. If you enjoyed this movie explanation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more Christian and inspirational movie recaps. Thank you for watching, and God bless.